Yeah.
Yeah, which is something that's like I understand for the most part too. At the very end, I would still say too that social media does still play a part of it too. Whereas it may not entirely ruin like dating culture in general too, but I do know it does play a hand in that, in the fact that it did change it for
It really does depends on the person, and
right,
how they see, how they consume that media.
right.
Some people would just look at this couple who seems very happy on Facebook or something and be
Mhm,
like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. But another
mhm.
person could be, an incel or whatever.
Or not even so they could be hyper fixated that they have to model everything in their aspect about this person that they themselves don't even know yet. Hi everybody, welcome to another night in this fucking shitty hot or trash podcast topics right now that we're going through. Yep, it's just gonna be me and
It's
Victor
hot.
tonight.
It's trash. It's the Hot or Trash podcast. Welcome,
Yep.
everyone.
Y'all. Yeah, sorry for legitimately no uploads for last week too, just because I ended up getting pretty busy, surprisingly. So I didn't have any time to like try to get stuff going. So
This boy lying.
shut up. But here, we're gonna kind of do something different. I originally want to do something different, but we might put it off later on too. I guess sort of off topic for the topic that we'll talk later too. Realistically, what I want to do for the channel here too, I kind of want to see if I could challenge myself to properly debate on a stance, because that's always been something that I've always struggled with, right? Not in the sense that
I
like
think
I want
I
to
would
be a
say
good,
it's only because you don't have the facts down. That's
yeah.
I feel like that's really it.
It's like I don't have the facts down too, and it's also the fact that I never am sure with whatever I say is still correct too, just because let's
That's what
be
I'm saying.
honest,
You don't
the
have the facts.
information, yeah, all the information that's coming out is going through all this at once too. That's why some topics too, I want to wait it out for a bit too until all the facts are given out so that I can properly read through them, right? But
Hmm.
Lord and behold too, it's shocker to nobody, there's so much shit that's happening that's already hard for me to like try to catch back up, and all the topics that I might be saying right now are already dated. So needless to say, we're just going to do our best to, and one of the things that I wanted to do is that like I would pick a side too, and I'll have one of you guys pick another side too, and then I would try to properly debate over like the stances that I myself wouldn't necessarily agree with, but then I would do the research to try to like prove my point and stance, right?
Hmm.
Like that would be something that I do need to get
That's
better
also
at
that.
that.
I mean, but that's the hard thing about a debate.
Mm-hmm.
You need to also believe in what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Yeah.
just research and then talk about it. That's not
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a debate because you don't truly believe in it.
Right. It's truly, I guess that is the type of person that I am then too. It's not like I don't choose to believe what I say either too. It's just I don't hold anything with it too, or I don't hold any statement that I make just because there's so many things that we could possibly say that could just be, oh, I mean, you're not wrong, but it's also not 100% correct either too.
Hmm.
Like there's so much of that too that like maybe in this case maybe I'm looking at the debate in the wrong light then, right? And the fact that I
Probably
should still like try to believe in the things that I say regardless, because
because
afterwards too, if the
because
debate is true,
what
yeah,
you're doing is just a discussion and not a debate.
right.
If you don't
Eh,
truly believe in it, it's just a discussion.
right. And that's something that like I really had to think about that for a moment too, and I was like, oh, maybe I need to do this, because there are definitely things that I need to acknowledge. I don't know a lot of things, and it's perfectly fine too to come with a debate if you don't know a lot of these things too. Therefore, that's how it's supposed to be, right? Two sides come together, they argue back and forth in a more healthy manner. In this case, Victor, please don't call me bitch in the middle of my debate or topics.
Hell no, you a bitch.
Fuck you. But it's supposed to be the fact that the debate is supposed to help both parties, right? Where like you deliberate at the very end to what would have been the final conclusion to make either both sides a piece, or you make the other side see the logic in one argument that maybe they themselves should probably think about in the end, right?
Mhm.
It's something like that too, that like I kind of want to try to do that just because we're living in a world right now where nobody really technically wants to debate. And by that, anybody that wants to make like an argument standpoint, they always go for the straw man tactic, which is another version of just saying, well, okay, you make this point, but what about this or what about that? I'm like, holy fuck, this gets so tiring so quick that that's all you really do is you just tire the fuck out of the other person that's like trying to make a point.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, which is like it's sure it works too in some instances, but I hate that style so much, and the fact that like you're not being genuine about it too. And at some point too, if someone actually confronts you about it, you just admit that you didn't have a way to respond back to it. Now, I also gotta make sure to say that like, a just because you can't make an argument back does not mean you lose the debate, right?
Hmm.
So that's also another thing too. Debate, there's no tactically clear winners or losers in this. You're both technically winning at the end of the debate because you both
It's
learn something.
the one who faults first is the loser. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and that's usually like the social thing too, which I myself I'm like, ugh. Yeah, that's something else to tell you. But let's go ahead into today's topic too, because I feel like we kind of rambled a little bit off topic for that. So we go into two topics that I would like to go over, as these are something that I am. That I mean, that was the original topic podcast was that we were going to debate about this, but let's just see where it goes to because we might push this idea to another one later on. So uh, we're kind of revisiting on the dating app stuff too, just because lo and behold, too, I'm currently about to hit my 2 year anniversary with my current significant other. Hell yes, and and then
And I
Victor
just passed my 2 years dating anniversary in
dating
February.
in February. Wow. Wow, really? February? Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't. Oh, that explains so much. You know what? That makes perfect sense. Regardless, holy
And then
fuck.
my wedding anniversary 1 year was last November. So there's
November.
that.
Oh, okay. So, congrats nonetheless too.
Shut
So,
your ass up.
fuck you. So, I mean, the whole thing too. So, like, the original idea for the topic is that I would debate in the fact too that like how social media itself didn't ruin dating scene, whereas you would take on a stance that it definitely does, with the whole biased context that I met my significant other through a dating app, while meanwhile you, for a lot of our generation, you kind of met yours in a more normal C stance. Normal being subjective based on the culture, right?
Yeah, I think technically I would say yeah, my way was normal because I met my wife through her family. So
Yeah.
I would say my way's normal.
Hmm. So, and originally it was just going to be the fact that like for once too, I was going to say that a social media itself is not really the main factor about all of this stuff too. Whereas I was going to make the argument point that the term with social media is the fact that people that are engaging with this, they're only just engaging with the media. There's nothing social about it. You're just consuming stuff that's in front of you.
Hmm.
You're because the whole part with social media is the fact that you have to be social. There's got to be something that you got to bring into this too. Otherwise, too, all you're really doing is just watching stuff and getting depressed off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is something that's like I understand for the most part too. At the very end, I would still say too that social media does still play a part of it too. Whereas it may not entirely ruin like dating culture in general too, but I do know it does play a hand in that, in the fact that it did change it
You know,
for
it really does depends on the person. You know, and
right,
how they see, how they consume that media. You know,
right.
some people would just look at this couple who seems very happy on Facebook or something and be
Hmm.
like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. But another
Hmm.
person could be, you know, an incel or whatever.
Or not even so they could be hyper fixated that they have to model everything in their aspect about this person that they themselves don't even know yet. So
It really
it's
depends on the person, I say.
yeah, it's very wild too. Like as I was looking into this too, trying to find like a lot of the points that I could probably bring back about people saying that social media is the problem with a lot of it. There are definitely times too where like at least here's what I can take away. It has changed dating culture, at least for the most part, maybe slightly better. But in a way too that like it makes it so that you're more safer over like trying to meet people online because this day and age too, there's even a point too that we even talked about. There's like the whole Gen Z or like the younger generation don't know how to make friends, which is sort of less like for us a little bit odd. But then I can also empathize with that because I moved around a lot when I was a kid, and therefore I didn't really keep that many friends too until I met y'all, and then you guys kind of shoehorned yourself into my life somehow.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, same here. We were just in like an architecture class for so many years too that we didn't even plan to take the same classes.
Yeah,
And
bro, it's your fault, bro.
what? It was your fault too. You also took this class as
Shut your
well.
ass up.
Oh my god. But like we go through this and I will go with the whole point with like, oh, well, it's just depending on how the people consume the media is what causes the issue too. But it's also there's been a lot of positive parts too, where like it has made it safer for a lot of women that engage dating apps, so that you can probably look up the person online if they have given you their name first, or you can see their name usually on dating profiles. You can look them up through like Instagram and other stuff, and then kind of see what they are. But even then too, it's like you don't necessarily use that as like a gauge either. You kind of just want to do it for like a vibe check, see if he passes any of those things too, or she, right? Because
Mm.
guys also tend to do that too. Because for all the guys too that are doing this performative male behavior, please don't try to match whatever her likes are to the point where like, oh yeah, I'm definitely interested in it, when you literally just had to research that in order to get into that first date. All right. Look, at least for me, I maybe had to do a. I'm not saying too that I don't do this. I have done this a couple of times too, even with my current girlfriend here too, where I I knew of Ultraman, but I didn't know enough of it that there was more stuff. So I did look into it a little bit too, just because it's sort of less in the wheelhouse of things that I already liked beforehand, like Power Rangers, Tokusatsu, Godzilla, and even like Kamen Rider. So they were all within the same genre niche that I was already watching in the first place. And therefore, we kind of bonded through that too, and even more things. So there's that. Like, it's something that like you yourself have to figure out like ways how like you can match your interest with the other person as well. There's that.
Mhm.
That actually what makes it really more powerful too. If you know something that she is like a total nerded dork about too, and then it's something that you could jive with too, hell yeah, go for it, dude. Like that is probably my only one dating advice I could realistically do to people that are like unsure of themselves too, and they're trying to see if what they're doing is right. I'll say this for the very foremost on behalf of us here. There is no right way of how to
There's
approach
not.
women.
Because that's the problem. Everybody, every woman, everybody is just different. Of
Yeah.
course, it's not a right way.
Hell. You think like in this case too, just because you can't get a girl too, like some gay couples too or lesbian couples, they can't find their perfect match either too. That's probably the same problem with them as well.
Yeah, maybe. Wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So it's like everybody is human. That's the beautiful part about this too. And that's something as well too that like you're not gonna go in there expecting to learn everything about the other person on the first date. As much
Mhm.
as it's like, yes, it's on their dating profile. Maybe you should do this too, do your research. Like, yeah, sure, I'll do like a preliminary glimpse of like to help with some conversations. But overall too, all the other stuff as well too, that should be kept in this case as you keep dating or as you keep going on dates too, you learn more about the person. That's how you develop a relationship, right? You keep going, keep interacting, and next thing you know, oh shit, here we are. That was also something too that like for at least some anecdote for my girl too. She just came from China for not even like a year or so in, like maybe half a year into. She just goes on a dating app to try, and ended up finding me because she thought I was cute. There was that. And then afterwards too, it kind of came from there. And then later I figured out too that she wanted to like the way how she is too. She's very careful about how she approaches people in general, just because dating culture in other Asian countries is significantly different than here. Because apparently in China they don't even use dating apps, which is
Mhm.
to me that's actually kind of shocking. But it is what it is, right? Maybe
Mhm.
it's the fact that if you use dating apps, it's like you admit the fact that you can't like socialize with people, right? Maybe there's that part of the social stigma behind it. Maybe, but
I wouldn't doubt
I
it. It would make sense to me at least.
yeah, but I digress. Far from that too, she was to the point where like if something ever does happen to that, like she would like just notify her roommates where she is at all times, and she would message them like at least every hour. And if she doesn't message uh within an hour or two, she literally either call the cops or something else. I'm like, oh shit, what? No. So there was definitely that too, and definitely I did not have bad intentions with that. I was just trying to meet her in the first person too, and she was really cute. So I hit her up. We hit it off pretty well too. Her English was actually really impressive when she came to talk to me. Obviously, she still struggles with certain phrases and terms too, but other than that too, it's literally how I have to deal with my own like families like Viet English too when they're trying to talk to me in certain ways because now I don't have the problem where I don't understand Viet anymore too, but back then I did. But whenever they do it, I can fully understand what their intent of saying is. So when she goes through that, it makes it that much easier that we kind of converse a lot easier that way. We start bonding over stuff that we liked, and yeah, next thing you know, I'm about to hit my 2 years. Yay! And we're living together. Holy fucking shit! Actually, I didn't think about that actually, Victor. After 1 year of dating too, we're now living together. Huh.
Hmm.
I mean, I did kind of state that as a goal for myself from like last year that like I wanted to try to live with her, but damn, getting laid off from my first job definitely did accelerate it, or definitely make me see that plan as a reality, huh?
Hmm. Sometimes
So,
life just wants to take you a certain direction, and
yeah,
it shows.
yeah, and to all the single guys that are definitely still doubting about themselves, here's the thing about it: it is okay that you don't feel like you're adequate enough for a lot of these things. Let's be honest, they probably feel the same on the other side too. And that's not something to like make you feel better about yourself too. That's just legitimately how people are. People are gonna be fucking awkward.
Mhm.
Nobody, let's be honest, you guys are living in a generation now too where you've all met your friends online. You guys don't know how to interact with each other in person anymore outside of school. And now that you guys are
Mhm.
outside of school and it's only work now, yeah, you have no idea how to engage with the other sex without like feeling like there's something totally bad can happen. I get it. But the best thing about it
This is
is,
what happens in today's day and age when we're always so focused on everything else.
yeah, and it's like it's fair too. It's just the fact that don't beat yourself over it too. When it's like it's as simple as just being okay with being uncomfortable with the situation,
Hmm.
and especially like if you don't know what the future is gonna take you to, as once the late Robin Williams from a famous quote that he said too, that he doesn't know what whenever I think it was in Night of the Museum when Ben Stiller is like, I don't know what might happen tomorrow, and Robin Williams hits me with the quote of, "Isn't that exciting?" And then that was fuck. I kind of lived with that quote for a long time actually, even though like I might have forgotten it like every now and then too, but that line still gets to me every time just because yeah, it
It is
really
true.
is. Yeah,
If
like
you already knew everything that would happen in your life, would that make your life better?
yeah, it's a definitely a very philosophical talking point too. That like a lot of, let's be honest, a lot of kids are not really engaging in that sort of thing because I look at the stuff that they're looking at online too. Man, it's not looking good. No one even has the mental capacity or time to even think about that part, right?
They don't even have the mental capacity to think at all at this point.
Right. And so that's why like dating culture itself too, like I would like to point out too that itself social media isn't 100% the problem. It's literally the whole environment and how technology itself has improved over the years that have made meeting people online so much easier, but you are losing the other human factor of meeting people in the end.
Mm.
Although to be fair though, recently there was the whole YouTube and Meta. Currently, they did not win against a lawsuit against New Mexico about, in this case, their addictive algorithms and whatnot too. So they're getting fined a lot of money for that. So win for us, I guess. I
Yeah, I
don't
would
know.
say so. Good riddance.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
Well,
going away, but still.
yeah. It's one step that is a big battle that we got to go through because I will acknowledge this. Social media does play a part of it because I do think there are times too where, let's
It's
say,
the
for example,
thing. This is the thing. Social media does play a role in it because that's how
yeah,
those companies intend it to be.
yeah, because like
It's,
social.
it's not random the things that you see.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's always catered to you based on what you are previously looking through. Like if let's say for honesty's sake too, if you're the one that's doom scrolling a lot of time, you're gonna get a lot of shit that will keep making you doom scroll.
Mm.
That is just how the algorithm works. Like you have to break that cycle yourself at this point because algorithm itself, you could see this as a philosophical like downward spiral of your mental health.
Yep.
And at some point too, like it's just gonna keep on going down the more you want to like try, or the more you stay onto this. It all it takes for you is to stop for a moment and look around you. And this is like a very corny, cheesy way to say this too, but it's like, yeah, you really just have to stop for a moment, take a breather, and just readjust yourself real quick. See what you have to do first, and then work from there and build outward.
Yep.
Because obviously, too, right now, a lot of people are. I'll be honest, too, the way how they kind of describe like a lot of their stuff, too, it feels like they're mentally trapped with what they're doing. And I don't think like let's say right now with AI technology, that's gonna make it any better. Fuck me. There's like more cases too where a lot of guys are admitting to that they talk with like AI girlfriends now, which is a crazy statistic. That how the hell?
Not just guys. It's
Oh,
just everyone.
oh yeah, just everyone too. So, like I said,
That's just, I mean, that's a different problem. I think personally that's a different problem. Like,
right.
people are just unable to interact with, have a social interaction with anyone now except a computer.
Yeah, like this is something too that like it was that is currently still a problem in like Japan as well with the hikikomoris too, or like people that are shut-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that those will always be problems too, and it's even like the Japanese government solution is the fact that they will occasionally send to you videos of women staring at you in a way too to like just do troll about it too, just so that for other men too, it's so that they can get used to being looked at. That was like usually what it is too, is that like you kind of get used to people looking at you, and therefore you can go for it. It's a wild concept. It's a wild thing.
It's a very wild concept.
It is, but it's like I can see the logic in the reasoning for that, right? Like exposure therapy is like one of the things too.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Mind you, I don't think it's going to be successful either way too, because this is something that's tackling an even deeper rooted problem. But those that are like currently going through this too, I understand your current like stripes and your current like hardships that you're going through right now too. But let's be honest too, we can all like get through this out of this. Okay, anyways. Besides, too, everyone feels too that like AI is about to like fucking ruin and take over everything. Hey, we got our first biggest win through that shit too, didn't we, Victor? Fucking
Yeah.
Sora got shut down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's shit.
Now, there's already some French conspiracy theory too that like Sam Altman purposely canceled it too, so that way, it was something like I think it was some government using it for propaganda and whatnot. They want to say, he's trying to do this to own them or some shit. Regardless, French conspiracy theories aside too, we're not going into that. It was sort of less.
I mean, you can do so many things with Sora. It's insane. Like very realistic videos. Like you can just.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if people like believe those videos were real.
But nonetheless, too, we have talked about AI stuff from back in center too, like to the point where like I don't want to make it seem like that we are an AI channel, but it's just how much of it has become invasive in our country here, right?
But that's the thing, though. AI will eventually become a part of our lives, like how smartphones and everything else were.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be so against AI, but I think there should be a balance.
Right. And we even said it out earlier too that like there are definitely, we have made statements too that there's going to be some AI companies that are going to be able to be successful, and definitely those that will fail. And if anything too, we even kind of saw as well too, OpenAI is not looking that great future wise, because there's a very high likely chance too they can just straight up go bankrupt. And also to everyone else that's like defending, oh, but Microsoft will like give them bailout money. What makes you really think that Microsoft is really going to need to spend more money onto OpenAI when they already own them?
Yeah.
All they can really do is just wait until like it naturally goes into bankruptcy, and then they kind of just reabsorb them back, claiming all of OpenAI's assets. Literally, that's what they can do, and it's probably what they're going to do. That's why I think right now too, the likelihood of them actually OpenAI going bankrupt is actually pretty fucking high, and a lot of people do see this as a win for, in a way too, to how the current technology that AI is. Because when we're talking about artificial intelligence too, we're really looking into like actual like intelligent or artificial intelligence that's able to make accurate inferences, accurate judgments, and they can do a lot of these things on its own without like lots of like, let's say, Claude having like a 5% error in a lot of like the stuff that it makes too, or something like that too. It's like based on like some metric that they were doing the data to, Claude has scored the highest when it came to like how well it did on a lot of the tests, but it was only 5%.
Mhm.
So that itself too should have already like been a clear indicator too that like we are still looking at a very early adoption of a technology that not only do we technically not have a full understanding of, but it's still so fucking new that it needs like still much more development into this as well too. And maybe not to the large scale that we're just funding a fuck ton of data centers and now they're just at this point too, there's going to be a near future where there's going to be a lot of people having these big empty warehouses that they can't sell now. So
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe, but I still think AI definitely still has a long
yeah.
way to go, and
Hmm.
definitely still has plenty of room to improve.
Yeah, like I don't think anyone is gonna like throw down that idea that AI is not gonna be useful too. It is going to be useful. People do understand that there is actually use case purposes. It's just that right now, unless you yourself are actually tech savvy or you know how to do a lot of these things, it's not really meant for the public. This is my hot take about it too. I don't think in this case too, the public should have had access to like the current model or the current technology of AI in the first place. At least for me, because the way how it still feels like a research project, right? It's
Yeah,
still
I do agree. It shouldn't be released so early,
yeah, because like
but
I
rather
even
it should eventually get to the hands of the people.
yeah
Basically what Siri is and what Bixby is on Samsung, those kind of things. And it should be available in that form, but not, I guess, that Chat GPT form.
yeah, because like I feel like I even had like a conversation with a coworker that me and him were talking about this too. That like it feels like if anything else, it would have been much better if it was something that was like a closed enterprise tool that they would be offering to help with like certain automation for like mathematics or like for engineering stuff. Because with engineers too, it would be amazing if we had a tool that could read through all like the mountains of data that we have too, and if it could spit that out in a format that we could actually read that shit better, fuck yeah. Give this shit to data analysts too so to make their jobs easier.
Mhm.
Like there's so much of this too that like I feel like in a very close, like smaller circle too, if it's like introduced in like a lot of corporate sectors too, it would definitely have worked too. And also would they need to replace people? I probably don't think they should have. And I think these companies laying off a fuck ton of people because of AI was just a very convenient excuse to cover up the fact that they hired way too many and they didn't have like a really good reason of like, fuck, we hired too many, we have to let you go. Because that would sound terrible if they had what they had to say as a press conference, why you had to lay off so many people. And them just saying AI was just like, yeah,
Just
we're
like
trying to improve it.
Facebook laying off people now.
Yeah. Not even
Facebook's
that.
laying off people because of AI,
Yeah.
and now they're in a whole lawsuit because Congress is trying to wonder why they're laying off people because of AI. They're trying to figure out why they did that.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you could say
Crazy.
AI, but is it really that too? It's like I
You know what's
feel
funny?
validated
Actually,
about that.
you know what's funny?
What's that?
When they laid off people because of AI, and Meta boost executives' paychecks, basically.
That's what I was fucking right. At least for the most part, maybe not to that part where the CEOs get like a bump in their boot and their ended salary and whatnot too. But I felt like them using AI was such a convenient excuse for them to do shitty business practices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, because like if anybody were to legitimately look at this too, and let's be honest, me and you, we've already tested out what this AI is capable of doing too. It is still nothing more than a tool. I don't see how this is supposed to replace so many people. Maybe it can do the maybe the one person, if they know how to use it, can do the job of 10. But that there's a key word, what I said there. The person has to know how to use AI in order to do a job of 10.
Hmm. That's all hype. That's all it is.
Yeah, and clearly we saw this coming miles away too. Actually, it didn't even have to take us about it too. Everybody knew that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
But yet here we are. That's just like, oh, who could have seen this? Shut up, you fucking economists. You're also like bought out by the same corporation that's also pushing out for the fact that they want to use AI in everything too. Because let's be
It's
honest, it's a
either
new
that.
fat trend.
It's either they're being bought out or economists and like analysts and all these really just have no foresight of any kind.
Yeah, and it's just like, do we really trust these people to know what the fuck they're talking about anymore
I
now?
don't, because they really don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, because clearly we see
These guys literally have zero foresight into anything.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying too that like it doesn't take me to notice too that like a crash or a bubble is about to happen too. Literally, you look at everything that we've gone through in history about what makes a bubble, and you apply this to AI. It kind of feels like an AI bubble right now too. Hell, ever since Sora got shut down, Disney pulled out their $1 billion investment, which is a lot of money that I think OpenAI is actually kind of fucked in this regard. Maybe, but needless to say too, it's not looking good too. There's even like the Microsoft news too that they're kind of on the next few Microsoft updates, they're gonna like repeal back or peel back all the AI adaptation or AI adoption that they were doing to all their other softwares that don't need it. I.e., they're just trying to like bring it back until like a development state again too, because obviously when they rolled out these features too, it was not working. It was almost the same thing that happened with Apple when they did like their shit too, and why it wasn't available on like the launch of iPhone 15, if I remember.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or 16, I don't remember. 17?
Yeah. I think it was a
Whichever
16.
is all it is to me.
Yeah, I think it was a 16 in the end. But regardless, dude, it's like we've seen this already happen before recently too, and they still think that we could do this too. Like, why the fuck would I need Copilot in fucking Notepad? What the fuck do I need it to do? And also, why is it that you say, oh, all of our updates are written 30% using AI too? Yeah, I can tell too. Why is it that there are some people that cannot access their C drives?
Yeah,
Also,
I definitely noticed Windows is a lot worse than before.
It's like, holy shit. Like, yeah, it's some.
This makes me want to switch over to Linux, bro. Like, honestly.
It really does, dude. It's like, how can you be this brazen and this much to be like saying, oh yeah, all of our shit is made with using 30% of our code made with AI too? Yeah, we could definitely tell. Like straight up, we can tell.
Yeah.
It's like really.
You guys sure did a good job at showcasing that you use nothing but AI here.
It's like I couldn't tell if they're doing this on purpose to shit on AI, or I don't know, right? It feels weird that like this happened too. Like, there's no way that like you come out with a statement and not acknowledge the fact.
It's these big companies that believe AIs are truly. I mean, AI definitely is the future, but it's like they're pushing it so quickly is the problem.
Right. And you know what?
Just
Sam
like,
Altman
just like
does.
just like my workplace. I mean, they're trying to make us use AI in everything that we do. I'm like, bro, how do I use AI for just just testing shit? I don't get it.
Yeah, like that's how it's always should have been in the first place too. It's like a lot of people are saying too, it's not ready for like production kind of stuff, but yeah, we're trying to force it to. And you know what happens with like undeveloped software too? If you try to force it to release, it's not gonna look good. Look at all the fucking games that we've seen so far. You think AI is gonna make that shit better?
Like at software in general, I mean, like 99% of software is fucking incomplete.
Right? Holy hell! And yeah, and right now too, the only thing that AI is currently good for right now too is that it is a decent like chat, like a very sophisticated chat bot. I'll be honest, it's good at doing that.
It's also good at helping.
Yeah,
helping you be more productive. But that's the thing. It's good at helping. It's not good at doing the job.
Yeah, it's not supposed to do your job. It's supposed to help you with that too. It's not supposed to be all the things that they're trying to push for it to, believing it's going to be like some sci-fi coming to reality. Let's be honest too. The current technology with AI, it's actually really impressive how far we got here too. But like what we mentioned from our previous topics too, even the original creators that have made this version of the LLM that we're talking with too. He says that's not the way to AI. This is just like a way to kind of showcase like my ideas of how we're gonna build upon it. But everyone is like using this as, oh, this is the actual AI product that we're gonna start pushing out to the public now. We need money, 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 money. I was like, holy fuck.
Funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like the one side of my brain too that's like wants to really just tinker this to ever living hell. But I understand too if like let's say that you're a company and you've been developing this shit for like more than a decade or so too, and you're not really making it as a product too. Hell, that was what OpenAI was supposed to be. It was supposed to just be not really a company, but just a research firm. Or firm being a not an accurate description about it, but they were actively developing and researching on improving AI, artificial intelligence. That I know
Mm.
for certain. That was what they were trying to do. But now here we are at it. However, we feel about Elon Musk, I do think he is rightfully pissed on the fact too that like, yeah, this company definitely did like was supposed to just be open source, yet they did all these things to try to monetize on people doing this. And it's like, what the fuck? Also, allegedly, too, I do believe that Sam Altman did have something to do with like the whistleblower, allegedly, because I feel like if I
No,
don't,
I believe it. I believe it.
yeah,
You know, these big companies always trying to hide some of their secrets.
yeah. And right now, too, another big win is with the I forgot which state did this to, but they struck down in this case that anything that's created in AI cannot be subjected for you to have like ownership over. Just because the way how the technology works, it is nothing more than it just regurgitates on the data that it's trained. Some people can make the argument that like art is technically like that too, where you learn from other previous things to make the piece that you're currently at, but it's not the same as the way how the LLMs are doing it versus the way how the human mind learns off of past things and then they try to apply it. Because let's be honest, too, we're only human. We're never going to recreate things one to one. Even like a skilled person that's able to copy paintings to that level can only do so much of it. AI could probably copy it one for one, no doubt. But it's not the same regardless too to say that like, oh, I made this art using AI too, so therefore it can be filed for like other stuff too for my own copyright protection, and it does not. Therefore, everybody's AI art that they currently have their profile is now up for grabs. I'm stealing that shit, bitch.
Yeah.
And there's not a goddamn thing you can say about it. God, the whole AI phase too, and then like this feeding into the fuel of like the current dating culture is kind of becoming a little bit ass. But I feel like that itself is like the dating problem leading into more people using AI as a form of like some type of companionship too. I feel like that was like not necessarily AI caused this problem too, but because of its availability, that was just one of the many things that propped up with it. As like this itself is like already a growing issue and problem to begin with, right?
Yep.
So even if let's say too, if AI doesn't, it just collapses for whatever reason. Does that fix dating? Probably fucking not. There's many issues that we still
Absolutely
got to
not.
fix. So
All
it's
about fixed dating.
yeah. It probably is still wouldn't. You still have a bunch of lonely guys that have nothing better to do. They'll probably spend it all on OnlyFans. Maybe that's the reason too. There's even a funny joke that Elon Musk was thinking about like buying out OnlyFans just to shut it down. Which I'm like, as much as that is definitely illegal for you to do, it would be really funny.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But I digress too. I'm so glad too that like the whole AI stuff that's being blown up right now too, and we're kind of starting seeing like in this case a break or like a halting point of the hype train now too, and we're starting to see the teeter off a lot. Albeit it's something that like, we kind of predicted that this would happen, but a lot of people
That's a good thing. That's
yeah.
a good thing. Now we can actually focus on improving it
Yeah,
in the right way instead of just throwing it out there for the world. You
like
know? Like
yeah.
like not even a half finished product, even like something barely in alpha phase.
Yeah, and it's like I said too, I do believe too that like the technology itself is going to be great too. Hell, it was something too that like here's the funny thing about it too. It's like a good segue to how early the adoption of technology would be. Nvidia's DLSS, at least DLSS 5. Have you seen all this stuff about that too? we're talking about a lot of different things here, guys. So bear with me. There's just a lot to go over as like this year alone is fucking crazy. But Nvidia's new showcasing of like a DLSS 5, for example, it was something that like what they were doing is that like let's say you take the game for example too and you try to put something over it too and it would try to upscale that, but then it was using AI generation to upscale it too, and it looks, some games it looks all right but others it looks awful in.
Mhm.
Like for example, they use like the example for Hogwarts Legacy. There's like an opening cutscene. Mind you, Hogwarts Legacy, you're trying to play as a relatively a teenager into into the world when you enroll into Hogwarts. In the DLSS 5 upscaler, somehow you look like a 30-year-old man. And I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah, man,
happened?
happens, dude.
It's like, god damn, how much is the school stressing you out, man? Holy shit. But no, it's like it's something too that like I think what it happens to, and I think I do agree with a lot of comments against this version of DLSS 5. It is actually like destroying, in this case, the artistic style of a game this way. If you try to use this feature, it does destroy like the art style of the game a lot. And that itself too is something that I do, something that obviously we want to preserve, like the way how the developers want to build the game so that you can enjoy it how they want you to see it for, right? And then this technology with DLSS 5 kind of just does away with that by trying to make things as photorealistic as possible, which
Yeah.
for a lot of people and a lot of the original intentions of the developers, that's not their goal. So uh, it's something too that like, here's the thing. I think DLSS is going to be a technology that we're definitely going to need to use as like hardware becomes a lot more scarcer too, and we want this technology to actually apply to, you know, older GPUs so that they can make use of it. But right now with its current state too, I think it's just right now like too harsh of a implementation that like they're swinging for one thing. Like DLSS was looking good for a little bit and then they went too far one way to like try to showcase this technology off, which
Mhm.
to those that don't know gaming that well too, it may look impressive, but to those that do see it too, it's just like that's fucking gross and whatnot too. And even if we could use this technology too, it's only available for like newer graphics card that still not a lot of people could get a hold of yet. So it's like the technology for DLSS is great and all, but unless it starts being applied to like anybody that has a 30 or 20 series card too, then it's a technology not a lot of people give a shit about. So that's just the reality of that too. Like eventually at some point too, you as a gamer too, you probably would have to upgrade your GPU at some point. But
But honestly, I feel like this is a bad thing
mm,
deep down because now game developers they don't have to like
oh yeah, that
make a
was also
good. They don't have to make a good looking game anymore. They just let AI do it.
yeah, that was like the same problem that we had with Unreal Engine. As much as we like glazed on the
No,
fact
Unreal
too,
Engine's
well,
fine. And the Unreal Engine, what they're doing is fine. It's just this whole DLSS upscaling, AI upscaling stuff.
yeah,
Upscaling is fine. Upscaling has been there for a while. I feel
yeah,
that's fine. But it's just now AI upscaling, which is filling in the details. It's
yeah,
just now game companies don't even have to make good models anymore or whatever. They just let AI make it look good.
yeah, and it's like, and it also probably would lead into the fact that they probably would not prioritize in optimization even further, which is something that like we have already like said it multiple times too. Trying to optimize games right now is already a lost form of art for a lot of this in our new generation. Like nobody can
Yep.
make optimized games anymore now too.
Mm.
At least that was before until recently too. There are many developers that actually have made games on Unreal Engine 5 where before it was something that like, oh, Unreal Engine 5, like any games that are made off of that, it just becomes like an unoptimized mess too. Fucking Black Myth Wukong was an Unreal Engine 5 game and that did perfectly fine. It actually ran really well. Expedition 33 was made off of Unreal Engine 5 and that game still runs phenomenally. We even saw we even saw the way how the game was test benched in like older graphics card too. It still ran like at least a 40 FPS on low, which in a game that's a JRPG turn-based game, quote unquote turn-based, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, like it just really depends on the developers. Of course, we can trash on the engine all we want, but it really is up to the developers to figure it out.
Yeah, because at this point too, the engine is nothing more than a tool. Now, mind you, I do think that like there was definitely an issue, a push that they were really trying to use all the Unreal Engine features to say this makes and this is developing this part easier too. And oh boy, me and you tried to use those, and they did not work exactly as it was sort of intended.
I mean, to be fair to them, it did work.
It did work. It was just a lot more resource intensive than we'd liked.
Yeah,
So big
granted, it
disclaimer.
makes sense because it's doing it for us basically.
Yeah, like I don't doubt that there was like if we knew how to do this stuff beforehand too, we probably need someone else that specialized in that too, and that would like help us focus on other areas of the game that we could develop. But albeit not everyone is going to have access to that, you're always going to have to do more things than one anyways too, and it's like a big undertaking nonetheless too. And there's also the fact again, optimization is just something that like it's not like sought after or it's not used frequently. Not used frequently. That sounds awful. How's a better way to should I say this? Optimization is just not something that's the priority. There it is.
Yeah,
Because we see like games right now too that also space wise they're fucking massive. All because the fact that the high quality or 4K texture is eating up a lot of memory space too. And then I see fucking games like Helldivers 2 that's like, oh yeah, we pushed this into the main bridge. Okay, what'd you push? We turned our 100 gigabyte game to now be 15 or 20 gigabytes. I'm like, what?
I mean that's fine. In the end, it's just trade offs. Like
Yeah.
it's either you compress everything and use more resources during gameplay, or you use more storage resource but less, or you leave more resources open, like
Mhm.
CPU and GPU
Yeah.
for actual gameplay. It's trade offs. It's not sure it sounds great on paper, but there's gonna be trade offs.
Right. And at some point too, yeah, it's like everything else. Trade off of like right now with the AI technology too. It's like, oh, this technology should have been cooked in the oven a lot longer too. But then the trade off being is like if we do it now, we can make money off of the hype, which is technically true on the short term.
I mean, there's two parts to it. Yes, it's money, getting money quickly. The other part of it is that we let people use it more and it can improve faster.
Yeah, like there's definitely a part of that too that like I understand that was a way, but we already seen this happen before. Remember that one like before Twitter became X that they released like AI to like let it be interact with the public too, and it became
Yeah.
Omega racist too. It's like holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So
fine. It's just one of the lessons learned, you know?
yeah, and the fact is they still try to do that too with Grok, and it's almost turning the exact same thing what it was calling itself Mecha Hitler.
No,
No,
that's fine. It's fine now. But
yeah,
either way, like I said, if you let it, this is the issue with modern day software. You can't just let it cook. You have to let people use it so you know
Yeah.
what's actually wrong with it.
right. And that's it. Yeah, I mean that is like the at the very end too, right? And it's something that I just gotta like at least stomach to. That like, there's no way that you could fully complete a fucking software too without any bugs whatsoever. How much
Like
as
modern
other
day
people
modern day
want.
software is a continuously improving product.
Yeah, that's
So
just a
there's no such
reality now.
thing. There's no such thing as a completed software nowadays.
Yeah. Hell, even like for our definition, if like the completed software, if we looked at it back then too, could we have made the things back then better too? Obviously, yes. So, yeah, there's like one of the things too, the fallacy that like, is any software technically complete? It just depends on what do you define as complete.
I mean, if you have a very small set of requirements, then yeah, it would be complete.
Hmm. But
But
nowadays too, we need it to do a
realistically,
lot of things.
if it's going to be a commercial product that people use, people will want it updated and changed and things like that constantly. So
Yeah, it's
that's
like the
why
same.
if it's a commercial product, it's always going to be improving and will never truly be complete.
Right. And it's like the same way too how we do with treat cars too, albeit the cars thing is its own separate issue entirely. But yeah, like cars too. You want to make sure that at least the model or like the brand too is like keeps up to date too, and it's not you're not driving like a fucking 1990s Corolla. Although to be
It'd be
fair
nice if
though,
we can just update our car constantly
yeah,
instead of buying a new car.
you know what? That would be great, right? If we could just update that too. Like we, please, this is $1 million company brand. If someone is able to fucking pull this off too,
I
if you
don't
can
think
make
so.
if you can make a base model car and all you really do is the fact that all they have to is just replace just the essential parts about it to constantly get upgraded and updates to, and hell, if there's like a plan for them to do that as well, fucking great. That's perfectly fine. But other than that too, it'd be really great to see that like some car, or if a car company can like somehow address that issue, right? Where like the car that you own can be considered a forever car, even though technically that's also
no
like
such
a
thing.
fucking bad deal for
No such thing, because the frame of the car will deteriorate.
yeah.
So it's not truly not a good idea. I mean, it'd be nice if we can keep our car forever, but it's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a good idea, nor is it realistic. Yeah.
Like the frame of the car deteriorates, so
Yeah. It'd be cool too.
It's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, unless you yourself know how to do like a car body work too in the first place too. Yeah, that's not like a good idea for that person. Man, it'd be so cool though, Victor. At least for me.
What if they just sell the frame and then you can replace it yourself, KW?
Yeah, that was what I was trying to go for. Damn it, you fuck.
No, we dumb.
It would be like.
But that's also, hey, look, here's also the thing. They see, like I said, like I talked about software, people want to like different new features and things are like they want things to change and things like that. Same thing with a car, man. They like with each generation of cars, or just with different people, they want a different design constantly too. So you can't really just keep one design, and one type of car forever. I mean, eventually you just look at your car and you're like, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely people that buy cars like that. As shocking as that is, too, no, that's just how the normal everyday person purchase things. That's how normal everyday people interact with anything in life, too.
That's why everything here is just disposable.
Yeah. Like dating, like AI, like all this stuff, too. Even people's lives, apparently. Holy shit.
Everything in this country is disposable.
Kind of crazy now that it's like, you take that philosophically, that has a whole new meaning, huh? Shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we went through a fucking loaded topics too in like such a sort of short amount of time too. But I'm pretty sure if I edit this correctly too, I only shave off like maybe 5 or 10 minutes of the time too, just because of all the dead air. But it doesn't matter too. That's something for me to worry about tomorrow as I'm editing this.
Y'all listening to this boy? He's just rambling for no reason.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is already a known thing too. That like I just fucking ramble. No, fuck you, man. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in tonight too. For all the single people as well, I hope that at least this has bring you some comfort too. That like it's not all fun.
What comfort?
Well, I'm not sucking your dick. That's the comfort you're getting.
I don't want that. The fuck.
But in the end too, I do hope that in this case too, people that are able to like be in better positions in life, they go for it too. Otherwise too, if you're fucking weird, please work on that. I'm also weird. I'm not changing that part of me. I got a girlfriend now. Nothing is gonna change at this point about me. XD. Oh god, why do I
all right everyone all right everyone, just be like Brian.
Please no.
No, just kidding. Don't be like Brian.
Oh god. But yes, thank you all for tuning in for another night too. We'll probably hopefully I could do like a topic where we actually start debating over some stuff. But until then, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Laters.